Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk again. I'm Mark Bradberry. It is so important in this time of shelter at home and restricted freedoms to make sure that we're staying physically active and strengthened. You know, a healthy body means a healthy mind. So I've been doing pretty good so far. I have been keeping my weight in check. I tend to stress eat, so I have to be careful with that. But my gym is unfortunately closed for the duration. And if you have a gym membership, yours probably is closed as well. So that really doesn't make it terribly easy for us to stay physically fit. My little bit of home routine varies from day to day. I usually will start off maybe doing some push-ups just to kind of release that little bit of stress. Grab some free weights, a few curls, that sort of thing. I'll do some shoulder lifts, and then later in the day I might step out, go for a walk, go for a hike somewhere if I can. Maybe get on the bike and ride around the neighborhood. Sometimes I'll go further up the street and ride around the huge parking lot at Lifetime Fitness, just for the irony of it. There's nobody there, but all of that, it does make me feel better. It keeps me a little bit more fit, and it helps relieve some of the stress. It's also equally important during this time of a reduced socialization to make sure that you're getting a good spiritual workout as well. That's important. Like our bodies, our hearts, our minds, our souls need that kind of exercise. I mean, you shouldn't put it on pause just because there's not as much to do away from home. Paul wrote to the Philippians about 2,000 years ago a particular encouragement at that, that they were to keep at it. And he wrote to them, "Therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation in fear and trembling. For it's God who is at work in you to will and to act to fulfill his good purpose." Now, a lot of times when we hear those verses, that's where the lesson stops. But let me read the next few for you. Paul continues, "Do everything without grumbling and arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, as children of God, without fault in a warped and crooked generation. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. And then I will be able to boast on the day of Christ that I did not run or labor in vain." You see, our responsibilities as Christ followers during this shelter in place don't just stop because our society hunkers down to shield against the pandemic. No, God is at work in you even now. And it's your job to continue to work at realizing all that God's salvation brings to you, so that you might join him in his efforts right where you are. Furthermore, in your situation, you're stuck at home during this worldwide pandemic, right? Paul challenges us to do it without grumbling, without complaining or arguing. Why? Well, it's so that you can shine brightly in a world that so desperately needs to hear words of life. Folks, it's not enough to simply get through this crisis. We need to press forward with faith, with confidence, with togetherness, with joy, knowing that no matter what happens, we have run the race with good purpose and not in vain. And that is 2 thumbs up. Enjoy your coffee.